Welcome to Reg Limited. Here are Ronald, Emily and Graham. Ronald runs the company. He's a giant desktop, a tiny laptop and the most expensive smartphone he could find. He never sleeps because he's got offices in London, New York, Palo Alto, Beijing, Mumbai, Sydney and Dubai. And customers in Paris, Panama City, Pittsburgh, St. Petersburg, Prince Albert, Pretoria and Pensacola. And Baco, Bad Axe, Biarritz, Beverly Hills, Bogota, Bologna, Bridgetown, Brighton, Bucharest and Brussels. Ronald also has a dashboard. In fact, he has 3 dashboards and a dashboard that monitors the other dashboards. But the really useful information is on a spreadsheet that's attached to an email he got last Tuesday. He receives 3 emails every second, which are read for him by other people, who then send him emails about his emails. He's got so much information, he doesn't have the first idea what's going on. Emily just joined the company. She's got pep and a great attitude. She just sent an email to Ronald to say thank you for hiring her, and another email called hi guys to everyone to introduce herself. She has brought her own phone to work because it's got all her cool stuff on it, and because the company laptop is bigger than her car. At home, she has a desktop surrounded by USB sticks where she spends her evenings instant messaging with customers in St. Petersburg and Sydney, when she can get her kids off the computer. Today she opened her inbox for the first time to find 1,000 emails, half of which seem to have been forwarded by Ronald. Most of the rest come from an unhappy customer in Bad Axe who's been asking the Mumbai office for help and isn't getting a reply. Graham's the IT manager. He's got a server room which he's scared to touch in case it stops working, 500 desktops, somewhere between 50 and 5,000 laptops, depending on how many have been left in taxis this week, 6 5-year-old mail servers, none of which he's ever seen, and 250 requests for help from people who just connected their smartphones to the network and aren't sure they did it right. Graham has also had a headache for the last 6 years. He'd like to help everyone, but first he needs to spend an hour setting up Ronald's smartphone. Then he needs to work out why everyone was replying to a message called "Hi guys," asking what it has to do with them. Graham's got a consultant who's been waiting in reception for him for 3 days now, with some graphs that show Graham is doing too much firefighting. And he's so tired, he forgot to put on his trousers. So how can we help them work better? They've got a lot of information, but they're not very productive. So Graham, you're first. Let's get rid of that consultant and get some real help. First, put on some trousers. That's better. Now, we've set up an extranet for the IT department using SharePoint in Office 365. It's available for both inside the office and outside 24 hours a day because Graham can't be. So when Emily or Ronald or anyone from all those offices, we're not going to go through them again, sends in a request for support, they can do it online. They can also see who's helping to fix the problem and how far that fix has got. Most Reg Limited users don't need a visit to the desk, and so Graham can help them help themselves by making videos that step through the answers to their problems, posting them on the intranet. For example, all the company-approved smartphones are here, and this is how you set them up. Yeah, it's pretty boring, it's time-consuming, and let's face it, it's also something that those users can pretty easily do for themselves. Now, managing desktops would give Graham sleepless nights, even if he had time to sleep. So Windows Intune's here is a way for him to automate that too. So first he can see the status of all the PCs and laptops connected to the network. Now, watch this. He can do a software audit of all those devices to see whether he's compliant with the licenses he holds. It also means he can get rid of the software that no one's using anymore, migrate users to newer applications, and generally make his life easier while saving money. Hear that, Graham? Easier life, saving money. There's a lot of apps you got there. Now, compliance isn't the only problem he can solve from this application, because if he wants to see the security status of the devices too, well, then here it is. He can look at that. Bit of malware, Graham, you're going to need to sort that one out, but he's not been doing too badly. It just goes to show what you can achieve by using the right software, or in Graham's case, by working a 140-hour week. Finally, using Intune, we've taken away one of Graham's hobbies, which is patching and installing. He loves it, walking around the office when everyone else has gone to the pub with his little box of CDs. So it's almost a shame to show that you can not only check the status of the devices attached to the network, but you can also set policies as to what can be installed on which computer. You can schedule upgrades for times at which no one's going to be in the office, useful for the Sydney office there's going to be a bit of a time difference, and manage the software deployment all from the cloud. Well, that's sorted devices and apps, so you can take the rest of the day off, Graham. No, hang on, Graham. We just need to use System Center because we're going to administer the mail service properly. Emily's going to thank you for this one day. Now, using this, we can see what devices are connected, And we can manage the way that users use those devices too. So we're going to set policies for using Exchange Online, and we need a device sync policy. It's about time someone got a grip of things around here. We're going to be a bit strict. So if you don't follow this policy, then at Reg Limited you can't sync. That's the whole point of having our policy. Well, on the other hand, if you don't agree with that, it does give you wiggle room in this software so you can balance access from the hundreds of devices you need to manage with the need for security. Graham's users need a password, and if they get it wrong 5 times, the device is going to be wiped. So don't use it after you've been to the pub, that's our tip. And there we are, the software is just reconfirming what we did. Now we're going to set some rules for Emily's mailbox. She will thank you, Graham, we promise. The first thing we need to do for her is to set up an archive function, because we don't like the look of that guy from Bad Axe. He seems the litigious type, so let's make sure that whatever device Emily uses, we follow the same compliance rules. You never know. There's another little fix that's going to help Graham. Let's set up a mail tip. It's a sort of tap on the shoulder to stop users doing stupid things, like, for example, sending emails to everyone. Hi guys, in the company about nothing in particular. You make the mail tip. It depends how much help your users need. This isn't about management in the compliance or legal sense. It's about helping users make a sensible choice. At one time, Graham used to hope they do this for themselves, but that never quite worked out, did it? Mails to everyone are career limiting. That's the spirit. So let's see how that can make Emily and Ronald's life easier. But first, Graham has to meet that management consultant. Nah, let's leave him down there for a while.